let's try and answer a few basic questions. First, what is Donald Trump's foreign policy? Because it seems to be little more than repeating a single phrase.
America first. America first.
The only president who combines the sordid extramarital affairs of a young JFK with the dead-eyed puffiness of a post-Watergate Richard Nixon. Wow. You know, it says something about the Trump era that the phrase, "the same worms will eat him too," actually qualifies as a hopeful thought.
Remember when Trump called everyone's ad? Well, guess who's throwing a fit now? John Oliver dropped the S-bomb on Trump, and our favorite grumpy Trumpy lost his marbles. One word, that's all it took for the orange turd to go nuclear. We're talking all caps tweets, creative spelling, and a meltdown that would make a toddler look composed. Buckle up, folks. This is gonna be hilarious. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Alright folks, gather around for the tale of how our favorite British funny man, John Oliver, served up a dish of cold, hard irony to the Orange Menace himself. Remember when Trump used to toss around the word sad like it was going out of style? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because the tables have turned faster than Trump's toupee in a windstorm.
That is focusing on his relationship with the world. Because while we were away, you may remember one particular remark he made.
According to the US president, Africa is a shithole.
He absolutely said that, except, to be fair to him, it's actually worse, because he reportedly called Africa, Haiti, and El Salvador shitholes, which is just not okay. And I personally have called Belgium a shithole multiple times, but in my defense, A, I'm not president, and B, Belgium is a loathsome chocolate gulag with no objective reason to exist.
Picture this, John Oliver standing on his stage looking dapper as always, probably because he actually knows how to tie a tie. The audience is on the edge of their seats, wondering what zinger he's gonna drop next. And then, with the precision of a surgeon wielding a scalpel made of pure sarcasm, Oliver delivers the knockout punch with just one word: sad. Now you might be thinking, that's it? Just sad. But oh boy, was it more than that. It was like watching a comedy ninja throw a verbal shuriken right into Trump's ego. The beauty of it? Oliver didn't need a long-winded rant or a complicated joke. Nope, he just took Trump's favorite little insult and boomeranged it right back at him. You see, our grumpy Trumpy has a bit of a habit. Whenever something doesn't go his way, which is, let's face it, pretty much all the time, he whips out his phone and tweets sad, faster than you can say kafef. It's his go-to move, like a toddler who just learned a new word and won't stop using it. But here's where it gets juicy. Oliver's perfectly timed sad didn't just sting Trump, it set the internet on fire. Faster than you can say fake news, memes started popping up left and right. Twitter was buzzing louder than the fly on Mike Pence's head during that infamous debate. It was like watching a comedy snowball turn into an avalanche of epic proportion.
The election is in full swing right now, and it's pretty much your usual campaign. Candidates offering policy proposals, trading barbs, and occasionally getting convicted of 34 felonies and complaining about the judge. Trump definitely doesn't know what the word literally means, but given his inability to talk about the Bible, it is possible that he doesn't know what crucified means either. Though I could be wrong, maybe Jesus got nailed to planks because of his hush payments to a porn star. I don't know. He is currently slightly ahead of Biden in the polls, so there is a pretty good chance he could be back in the White House next year. And given that, it's worth talking about what he plans to do if he gets there, because Trump does have a second-term platform.
And let's not forget the political commentators. They were all over this, like Trump on a bucket of KFC. They pointed out how Oliver's one-word takedown was proof that sometimes less really is more. It's like he found the comedy equivalent of a pressure point and just went to town on it. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, it turns out that when it comes to Trump, you don't need a long list of facts or a detailed argument to make your point. Sometimes all you need is to hold up a mirror and let him see his own reflection. And in this case, that reflection was one simple, beautiful word: sad. Well, folks, if you thought you'd seen Trump mad before, you ain't seen nothing yet. Picture this. Our favorite grumpy Trumpy probably perched on his golden throne at 3 a.m. scrolling through Twitter like it's his job, which, let's be honest, it kind of was. Suddenly, he stumbles upon Oliver's zinger, and boom, the rage typing begins. Now, we've all witnessed Trump's Twitter tantrums before, but this one, it was like watching a toddler who just found out there's no more ice cream in the world. Trump's thumbs must have been smoking as he furiously tapped out tweet after tweet, each one more unhinged than the last. We're talking all caps, folks. Misspellings galore. And coherence? Well, let's just say it went out the window faster than Trump's toupee in a windstorm.
Project 2025, which I know sounds like a sexy CW sci-fi drama starring Ashanti, Chad Michael Murray and Turtle from Entourage, but incredibly, it's even worse than that.
The 2025 Presidential Transition Project
brings together conservative organizations
to ensure the policy and personnel are in place
on January 20th, 2025.
Project 2025 aims to do for Trump's whole presidency what the Federalist Society did for his judicial picks, give him a step-by-step game plan that he simply has to execute and then take credit for.
One of Trump's masterpieces read, and I quote, "John Oliver more like John Loser sad." I mean, come on, is this the best our former president could come up with? It's like he raided a kindergarten playground for insults. But wait, there's more. The Orange Turd's tweets were a veritable smorgasbord of narcissism, served with a side of fragile ego and a heaping helping of bravado. Experts say Trump's Twitter meltdown is a textbook case of narcissism in action. It's like he's got an incredibly fragile ego hidden behind a wall of self-promotion so thick it makes his border wall plans look like a picket fence.
More than 100 conservative organizations have come together to work on this, and they're all there. You've got the Heritage Foundation, Liberty University, the NRA, Turning Point USA, Rodeo Clowns for Trump. They've even produced a 900-page handbook on their goals, which are sweeping. It proposes dismantling NOAA, the agency that tracks hurricanes and protects marine life, because it's, quote, one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry. States that pornography should be outlawed and the people who produce and distribute it should be imprisoned. And these proposals are extreme because the people who wrote them are extreme.
And let's talk about his obsession with the word sad. It's like he's playing a game of I know you are, but what am I? With the entire internet. Spoiler alert, he's the sad one. But here's the kicker. Folks, the timing of Trump's tweets, particularly those 3 a.m. specials, reveals more than just a bad case of insomnia. It shows a desperate need for validation from his supporters. It's as if he thinks he can control the narrative by tweeting in the dead of night when all the reasonable people are asleep. Newsflash Donnie, the internet never sleeps, and neither does karma. Trump's reaction to Oliver's jab is basically a masterclass in how not to handle criticism. It's like he took a course called How to Make Yourself Look Even Worse 101 and aced it with flying colors. His tweets revealed more about his emotional state than any of his rambling speeches ever could. It's almost impressive how he managed to turn a single word jab into a full-blown constitutional crisis of the ego. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite grumpy Trumpy just can't handle a taste of his own medicine. Who knew one little word could cause such a big stir? It's like watching a toddler throw a tantrum over a stolen lollipop, except the toddler is a former president and the lollipop is his fragile ego. But here's the kicker. This whole debacle shows us just how powerful comedy can be in the political arena. It's not just about getting laughs, it's about exposing the truth. And in this case, the truth is that Trump's skin is thinner than his hair on a windy day. So what does this mean for the future of political commentary? Well, it looks like comedians might be the new kingmakers, or at least the new king breakers. Maybe Trump should consider changing his catchphrase from "you're fired" to "you're sad." At least then he'd be ahead of the curve.